In life, we face an undeniable reality. There are things we can control and others we cannot. This includes the opinions, preferences, desires, and dislikes of the people around us, as well as other aspects beyond our control, such as wealth, reputation, and decisions made by authorities. These words introduce the famous life manual of the renowned Greek philosopher Epictetus. It's crucial to recognize that if we want to achieve a balanced and moderate existence, we must focus on what we can truly control and, at the same time, learn to ignore what is beyond our influence. One of the most persistent challenges we face as human beings is dealing with other people's opinions and judgments. No matter how much we try to avoid it, it's almost inevitable that other people's opinions will have some impact on us, whether positive or negative. However, the wisdom of Epictetus guides us to a deeper understanding of how we should approach this challenge. The purpose of this video is to extract valuable lessons from Epictetus's famous life manual. We will learn why we shouldn't let other people's opinions and judgments affect our inner peace, and how we can achieve a state of mind that allows us to reduce or even eliminate the suffering caused by others' opinions. If you want to discover how to free yourself from worrying about what others think, subscribe to our channel and get ready for a journey toward emotional freedom. Lesson 1: Insults and Offenses. Insults and offenses are two aspects of life that we all encounter at some point. When someone insults or offends us, it's natural to feel affected. However, it's essential to remember that the power of these words lies in how we interpret and react to them. Epictetus, the ancient Stoic philosopher, taught us that those who insult or attack are, in fact, offending themselves. Instead, it is we who allow these actions to affect us. The key is to understand that the offense comes from our own opinion about what is happening. When someone provokes us, they are actually challenging our beliefs and values. To deal with these situations, we must first realize that other people's opinions are not inherently harmful. The emotional discomfort we experience comes from how we process the insult. If we react negatively, we allow the person to achieve their goal of upsetting us. The true measure of a person is their ability to tolerate negativity without letting it affect their inner peace. Part of Stoicism involves learning to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Other people's opinions fall into the latter category, and our strength lies in how we choose to respond to them. Think of someone's pleasure. We shouldn't eliminate our desires and emotions, but learn to manage them. Similarly, when facing an insult or offense, ask yourself, do I want to win or lose? Do I wish to succumb to what I cannot control? Learn to process these situations from a Stoic perspective. Practicing self-control will allow you to move forward with determination despite adversities. We've all had days or weeks ruined by a negative opinion, but we can choose how to respond. Remember, every time you face adversity calmly, you become a stronger person capable of overcoming obstacles. Lesson 2: Firm Purposes. Imagine this. You are determined to understand and adopt a philosophy of life, but while doing so, you face mockery and ridicule from those around you. You hear people whispering, "Since when did he become a philosopher?" Or, "What's going on with him?" This arrogant attitude from others may make you feel ridiculed and even suffer criticism and scorn. However, what you should remember is that maintaining a firm attitude towards your purposes is essential. Don't let yourself be swayed by others' opinions, even if they ridicule you. It is crucial for your personal growth. Instead of adopting the arrogant attitude that some expect from you, stay true to what you know is beneficial for yourself. Remember that if you remain firm in your convictions, the same people who criticized you will eventually admire you. What initially caused ridicule will become a source of respect and admiration. Epictetus teaches us that we should not ignore our true talents and life purposes just to please others. If you do not pursue your goals out of fear of others' opinions, you will be ridiculing yourself on two fronts. First, because you haven't tried to follow your purposes, and second, because you have yielded to others' opinions. It's important to understand that the true ridicule comes when you abandon your goals just to avoid social discomfort. The real question you should ask yourself is it worth giving up your own desires and aspirations just to fit into what others expect of you? In crucial moments of your life, When facing important decisions, consider your priorities and the reason behind your choices. Don't let others' opinions define who you are or what you can achieve. Remember that true strength lies in keeping your purposes firm and living according to your own nature. So, the next time you face the pressure of others' opinions, remember that staying true to your path will allow you to be true to yourself, regardless of external criticism. Lesson 3. Fear and dishonor. Imagine this. You're worried about the idea of living a dishonorable life and feel like you're nobody. You fear that lack of honor depends on what others think of you, and that they might have the power to make you feel miserable. However, there is a truth you must understand. If your sense of honor and worth depends on others' approval, you are giving them the power to control your happiness. If you allow others to determine your value, you will be trapped in a constant search for power and external validation, facing ongoing pressure to engage in things that make you feel unworthy, just to fit in or be accepted. Why should you care if you have power, or if you're invited to social events? Should this really define who you are and your personal worth? This principle is relevant today, especially on social media, where social validation often becomes an obsession. How many times have you felt tempted to do something you don't want to, just to get someone's approval? Or how many times have you felt that your worth depends on the number of likes you get on your posts? Ask yourself if it's worth changing your true identity and values just to gain temporary satisfaction. Is it worth putting your mental well-being in the hands of others? The answer is clear. No, you shouldn't live to please others and sacrifice your own happiness. Moreover, remember that others' opinions about you shouldn't matter if your actions are not malicious and don't harm anyone. Why worry if people laugh at you or marginalize you for doing something you enjoy? Does popularity really bring you satisfaction if it depends on pleasing everyone? Ultimately, if your happiness depends on being popular or on others' approval, you will live in constant conflict and be in a permanent state of tension to maintain your status. Don't give away your power and emotional well-being to others. Live according to your values, and don't worry about what others think. Lesson 4. Protecting your mind. Imagine this. If someone decided to hand over their body to a stranger on the street, you'd surely be surprised and even upset. But have you ever thought about how you hand over your mind to confusion and deceit from anyone who wants to offend you? This principle revolves around the idea that we should take care of and protect our mind as much as we do our body. Imagine if you let a stranger into your home every day, even though you know they pose a threat. Yet we often let strangers into our minds when they insult us, and sometimes these insults can linger for days. The truth is, we should have the same respect for our mind as we do for our body. Why do we let others' insults and negative opinions affect us so deeply? To reach a state where we can ignore the negative feelings from insults, we need discipline and self-control. This applies not only to insults but to all situations in life. Even in moments of anger, learning to control our emotional reactions will spare us unnecessary suffering and help us feel more comfortable with ourselves. Working on protecting your mind and controlling your reactions can make a big difference in your life. By doing this, you'll avoid impulsive actions and emotional reactions, allowing you to live with more inner peace and tranquility. So next time you face an insult or offense, remember the importance of protecting your mind and not letting unwanted strangers in. Lesson 5. Acting without fear of judgment. Imagine this. Have you ever felt embarrassed for doing something you believed was right, even when others might misunderstand you? The truth is, we often worry too much about what others think of our actions, even when we are sure we're doing what's right. In the world of social media, where popularity and external validation can seem very important, it's easy to forget what really matters: your own virtue and personal values. Stoicism encourages us to focus on ourselves and our own moral compass, rather than relying on others' approval. It's essential to know yourself well, understand your values, and act according to them regardless of what others might think. The reality is that we shouldn't be ashamed of being seen doing what we believe is right if our actions align with our values and are morally correct. We shouldn't be influenced by others' incorrect judgments. Ultimately, the decision to live by our principles and values is entirely up to us. Instead of constantly seeking external validation and worrying about others' opinions, Stoicism reminds us that authenticity and integrity are key to a fulfilling and meaningful life. So, next time you face the possibility of being judged for your actions, remember the importance of acting without fear of judgment and in line with your deepest values. Lesson 6. Tolerating insults with dignity. Have you ever had someone speak badly of you or cause you harm with their words? It's something we all experience at some point in our lives. But what should you do when you find yourself in such a situation? Epictetus, the ancient Stoic philosopher, offers an interesting perspective on this. He reminds us that when someone insults or criticizes us, they are doing so from their own perspective and worldview. It's important to understand that we can't expect everyone to act according to what we consider right or with our own worldview. Everyone has their own perspective, experiences, and motivations. So, if someone insults you, instead of seeing it as a personal attack, try to understand why that person might be acting this way. Often, their actions are driven by beliefs and perceptions that might be mistaken. Epictetus advises us to patiently tolerate those who insult us, rather than reacting with anger or defensiveness. You might simply respond with something like, "That's how it looks to you." This shows an understanding that everyone has their own perspective, and that their opinions don't necessarily reflect the truth about you. Also, remember that you are the only one who truly knows the truth about who you are. If you acted correctly and with integrity, you shouldn't have regrets. Don't let others' insults affect your self-esteem or inner peace. Ultimately, the key is to maintain your dignity and self-control in the face of insults. Don't worry about what others might think of you, and remember that you are the only one who knows who you truly are. Lesson 7. Anticipating obstacles. Have you ever felt that obstacles in life catch you off guard and leave you disoriented? The 7th Stoic lesson teaches us that anticipating obstacles makes us stronger and better prepared to overcome them. Life is full of ups and downs, and we often face unexpected challenges. However, if we practice anticipating problems, we can be better prepared to handle any situation, even the most difficult ones. This Stoic exercise involves thinking about possible criticisms, judgments, or negative opinions others might have about us. The goal is not to fall into pessimism or fear, but to strengthen our emotional resilience and develop a mindset ready to face challenges. By reflecting on potential negative events, we can consider strategies and actions to address them more effectively. We can also develop a sense of emotional detachment, recognizing that we don't always have control over external events. It's important to understand that negative events are an inevitable part of the human experience. By being aware of these possibilities, we can prepare ourselves not to be shaken by anything, including comments and judgments from others. In summary, anticipating obstacles allows us to control our emotions and actions, even in the most challenging situations. This lesson helps us maintain calm and mental clarity, enabling us to face life with greater resilience. Lesson 8. No one can harm you without your permission. In the 8th Stoic lesson, we confront a powerful truth. No one can harm you without your permission. This applies not only to close people, like family or neighbors, but to all interactions in life. The key is to maintain our stance and not give importance to what others do, but rather focus on how we respond to it. Instead of focusing on others' behavior, we should concentrate on how we process their actions. In each interaction, we should internalize this message and be aware of what's happening in our minds. If someone with their inappropriate behavior seems to show disrespect, don't give them even a minute of your time. It won't improve your life in any way. The only effect will be to disturb your mood. Ask yourself how long you plan to let someone else control your emotions and well-being. It's time to rise up and follow the principles of reason that have been passed down to us. Don't wait any longer to start correcting yourself. You're no longer a teenager, but an adult capable of taking control of your life. Stop being negligent, lazy, and procrastinating. Stop adding excuses to your life and start making progress. If you don't, you'll remain a child on the path of life, never reaching your potential and ultimately losing the valuable opportunity for personal growth. Thank you for joining us on this exciting journey of discovery. If you enjoyed this content and want to explore more lessons, advice, and reflections on life from a Stoic perspective, don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.